All right, Nick, dude, before anything, clutch.club, everybody. Join the Discord, join our newsletter, join the community at clutch.club. We already got people in there having a good time. Some questions from the Discord actually today. But before anything, I want to give you 3 words, and I want you to stream of consciousness monologue the first thing that just comes to your mind, okay? I got scooters, I got age, and society. And I'm going to let you just go.
We got a scooter epidemic. I think it's taking hold in a lot of warmer climates first. And so maybe some of you that are in colder climates don't get the year-round investment into these types of things. And I want to be clear. Kids having fun on scooters, totally understand it. I would have been hype with them. I would have loved them. They go like 1 billion miles an hour. I would have been in. I was a dirt bike, 3-wheeler for all you older people that before they got banned by the federal government, 4-wheeler, I'm in. Okay? I'm in on kids having fun on a scooter. We've now entered where driving down the road this week and I look over on a sidewalk and there's a 30-year-old man riding a scooter on the sidewalk. I'm out. I'm out.
What do you mean you're out?
I'm out. And by the way, no kids around. Like if you're a dad or a mom out there, you get your kid a badass scooter, you're in the neighborhood, you're going to take a spin on it. I'm all for that. Your mode of transportation being something that goes 30 miles an hour on a sidewalk and not on a road after a certain age, we got to talk about it. And there's going to be a lot of podcasts that don't want to hit the hard-hitting issues. We're not one of those podcasts.
That's absolutely true. We hit them all hard.
So I just don't know what the hell is going on here. We have normalized, number one, I don't know where everybody else grew up, but if you had a scooter capable of going the speed limit, would have been called moped back in the day. Vespa has a whole business around this. It had a license plate. It had a registration, and in some cases, if you were a certain age, you had to get a special type of license to drive a vehicle that could go as fast as something on the road. How did this all get removed when it was so common? If this can be on the road, you need to have a license of some sort, and you need to have it registered. Instead, we got 30-year-old men on sidewalks going 25 miles an hour where people are supposed to be walking. Again, it's a sidewalk. Most cities like Vegas now, we're building all these bike areas on the road and all this kind of stuff. How is this not being addressed in 5 minutes of a city council meeting?
Oh, and I'm sure Nick has not visited too many city council meetings, but I'll tell you how, as somebody who has, not a lot gets done there. There's a whole lot of next session, next week, the second Tuesday of the next month, because we do
have a suburb here. Dude, cops are just putting a stop to it. And it's a suburb. It's not Las Vegas. It's actually a suburb of Vegas. And they've just had enough. They go, and I think here's where you really get into it. Let's say one of my kids, very young kids, is on that sidewalk and this guy happens to do something. I will say this now. This is a wrap. That dude is going to have very little chance of escaping what's going to happen to him. It's going to be hospital time.
His clutches.
And just so we're clear, you and I have the background that can make that happen. Okay? So, and by the way, I've had this happen at events where my daughters and some kids are acting crazy. I told you about coming out of jiu-jitsu class, 2 boys, and I looked at the dad and I just go, FYI, they knock one of my kids down acting like this, it's a wrap for you. Like,
we're not your dad.
And by the way, I got applause for that because this family was out of control. I got applause from the gym owners because I was finally the person to speak up. I don't mess around with anybody doing anything that would harm my kids. And we got scooters going 30 miles an hour with adults that know better than to be on scooters that they really shouldn't be riding on unless they're just playing with their kids like on the street they live on or whatever. It's completely out of control. And I think these things have real uses. You know, in cities like Vegas, man, there's plenty of places right on the road, man, drive it. I'm all for it. The technology's there. Get a license plate, get a registration, have some insurance. I'm all good with it. This is not an anti-scooter thing. It's when do we start drawing the line?
So do you guys have what we have like in the Austin area? It's all over big cities, but I'll just say Houston, Austin. I know Austin for sure. The Lime scooters. They used to be called Lime Bike. I think now it's just called Lime.
And it was called like Bird Scooters.
I think Bird was another one.
Yeah,
right.
Different company. Yeah, we have some of that downtown, but I'll tell you where it's ubiquitous. Like people just buy them. I mean, and so everybody knows. Like one of the biggest sellers in the U.S. is my next door neighbor here.
I was going to say you have that neighbor, yeah.
Okay, and he says the same thing. He cannot believe this has gone on this long, and he is. I mean, dude, he's got e-bikes over here that go 70 miles an hour.
Those can't be on the sidewalk, though, right,
buddy? But there's no law.
Yeah, it's true.
Nobody. And if somebody goes, well, it's not being enforced if there is a law.
Yeah.
Let's just say this. I don't know every law in the books because I think we've gotten a little crazy with 8 billion
There's a
laws
lot of them. Okay. There's a lot of them.
But, I mean, even he's like, look, man, people die out here on these e-bikes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They run into cars. They go into crosswalks. They do. They're just out of control. And I don't want them to go away because I'm not one of these guys like, let's ban stuff. I'm not a ban guy. What I am, though, is... Bud, when this goes sideways in this world, like I just imagine this dude running into one of my kids, his life is never going to be the same. And it's not going to be because he hit my kid. It's like it's just not going to go his way. Like that's not going to happen.
Do you have a lot of those one-wheeler things that people also ride on the streets?
Well, here's the deal. The guy next door, so one of the guys that works there, he's got a one-wheel. He looks like Barry Bonds when he rides it. He's all padded up. But, dude, he rides it right in traffic.
Oh, that's nuts.
I mean, he's got the Bluetooth speaker where he's jamming the music. He's doing spins in the middle of the intersection. But if you talk to him, he's like, yeah, man, this could end my life. I mean, he's very aware of the chances he's taking because obviously they have to teach people how to ride. And everybody at this company over here is such an expert rider on this stuff. But, like, people get on this stuff in our parking lot and just fall down, like hurt themselves, like they got to sign a waiver. I don't want these things to go away, but we got to start having this conversation. And I think maybe there's a lot of states that aren't being hit really hard by this.
It's true.
But in warm cities where you're dealing with this in warm weather, 365 days a year, basically, like you can't explain to people how the Woodlands in Houston is out of control. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's completely out of control. I witnessed it with my own two eyes. I'm like, Jesus, I cannot believe what's going on up here.
And combine that with the amount of people that are just looking down at every light and as they take off at their phone.
Bingo.
Come on now.
Bingo.
We saw it when we were together, actually.
Bingo. I mean,
And on top of that, they're looking down in the car, and then you see look at the person on the scooter also looking down while they're on the scooter. Like, what?
Yeah, because a lot of times they have the phone on a mount on the handle, and they're looking down, and they're looking up, and they're looking, and you just go, where's this all going to end?
The faith that you have in society right now, which it's honest to be honest, is less faith that we should be having in a lot of different parts of the world right now, especially in our communities sometimes, to just say, I'm going to risk it for the brisket, look down at my scooter. I'm knowing that there's a new Escalade who the mommy driving it is probably looking down as she's taking off from this light.
Yep.
Come on, we're going to cross paths eventually.
I look over this week and I see this 30-year-old on the sidewalk cruising on a scooter, and I just go, come on, man. Like this.
I think what got you too was the age and the individual.
It's the age. It's the age. I understand why kids do what kids do because I was a crazy kid. You know, there's a lot of people that don't want to admit the stuff they did when they were a kid. I'm the exact opposite. I'm like, yeah, dude, I would have done that. Like, there's no. If I would have had an e-scooter, there's just no doubt I'm doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I have no regard. I was one of those guys. Like, dude, I've been in serious accidents on dirt bikes. I've life-altering accidents.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand the kids part of this. I mean, in the Woodlands is a perfect example. Like, if my parents would have given me those scooters, I would have been no regard for life, on those scooters. Like, that's just, I understand kids being kids. why are we not making fun of the 20-year-old, the 30-year-old? Come on, man.
Those are basically the adults that go to Disney by themselves.
Oh, no question. No question.
To ride the rides and do
no question.
vlogs there by themselves.
That is the perfect example of exactly what they are.
Yeah, you're right.
You are going to Disney and might even have, because a lot of people in Vegas, because you can drive to LA, so you have a yearly pass type of guy. Like,
you're going during the week, you're going whenever you want.
Yep. No question.
There's actually a channel or a page that I think the guy, like, not that he purposely, but there's a bunch of videos, at least that I've seen, like he's basically like light to light racing like a Fox body or like cars on this little one-wheeler thing.
No question.
And he's beating them. And also I'm like, this is insane for you to just be testing your luck.
These guys do all the repairs so they can trick up anything next door.
Makes sense.
Dude, that one wheel that the guy's got, I think he says he can get up to like 72 miles an hour.
Yeah, this guy said 90 on the video. The guy next to him was like, man, that thing's sweet. How fast does it go? I was like, I can probably get it up to 90. I was like, 90?
Yeah. I mean, these guys, they fix it. I mean, so if you go in the back of their shop, it is like, I mean, it looks like an electrical shop. I mean, these guys are doing everything. Coolest neighbors in the world. It's cool to see the stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I'm not like one of these, well, it's electric, but I rode dirt bikes. I rode three-wheelers. Come on, man. Like, I know what's cool. Some of this shit is really cool. And some of it isn't that cool, but some of it is really cool. And you go, dude, you got some of this stuff that's easily, if they make some changes, going to go 100 miles an hour.
That's insane.
And there's no license needed. There's no regulation of them being held to the same, because again, they don't even carry insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They wreck into your car,
you're screwed.
You're screwed. And we're just not having any relevant conversation. And I get probably half of the country is not dealing with this on a daily basis because of weather. But if you're dealing with it on a daily basis, you haven't experienced it, it is wild.
All right, you've convinced me. We need some reform on that. I will say, let's hit property taxes first, Texas, and then we can hit the Lime scooters.
Yeah, Texas got a lot on its plate. I mean, for a place that tells everyone they got it figured out, a lot on their plate.
Hey, you know what? When you provide the country with all of the energy, we can do whatever we want, by the way. Just let you know.
I mean,
all right?
Let's be clear about energy here, okay?
Hey, number one.
Yeah,
Permian Basin, number one.
Cute. I mean, that's a cute story.
Guy says cute.
I'm still paying $6 a gallon.
Well, you need your special blend from California. What do you want me to do about it?
You said energy. I gave you the energy price. Okay?
Numero uno.
How about you refine it a lo better?
Numero uno.
Send it to me.
Radio KQQK, número uno en podcast.
Yeah.
El número uno podcaster.
I love how Texas always says we're number one in energy, as if you did something besides just have the
Get
ground.
it out of the ground? Yeah, that's a big part of it. God damn it.
Have the earth. I mean, wow, you guys worked really hard on that earth.
We do have the earth. Namaste, sir.
You guys did so much development on that earth.
I will do my yoga at the Permian Basin as the oil's coming up and show you I can be one with my spirit and one with the oil.
Maybe you guys could make a better second season of Landman next time.
Oh, God, please. Yes, actually, as a matter of fact, I was so mad watching it. I told my wife, I was like, Nick said this sucked, and I'm hating to agree that it's the worst.
Only positive is a couple chicks on that show. That's it.
Yeah. Big positives, by the way, too.
Yeah, big positive. Yeah.
Moving on to the Discord. Actually, moving on just to the rest of the show, but I wanted to start off with funny enough. So shout out to Will in the Discord. Again, clutch.club to join. Surprised we didn't get a take on the Corvette Grand Sport, to which I said, dude, I got to space out my Corvette talk with Nick. All right. He said, fair enough, but he did, want to get a take on it. And I do have that pulled up. How much have you seen on the 2027 Grand Sport?
I just saw the pictures. I didn't really, we're kind of getting to a point, and this would happen if it's another company or whatever. C8 at this point, they've done a fantastic job with it. All of these little extra bonuses of, little models and little different, it doesn't really interest me all that much. Although I do like the C8 platform, obviously.
I agree, yeah. So I'm just curious, because I know you had one. You went through your Corvette phase. But is it just like the platform itself, the age you're in, or it's just like the type of car or buyer that might be into a new or old Corvette? Because funny enough, somebody said in one of our comments, like something, I don't remember what we were talking about, but somehow they brought up Corvettes. And I think you may have said, like, nobody wants like an older, clapped out Corvette. And the person took such offense to it.
Yeah, because we were talking about C8 versus something else. That's why I said it.
Oh, Mustang. That's what it was.
Yeah, used Corvettes are great. It's a great experience. I had a Corvette that I got an insane deal on, bailing a guy out of a problem. I enjoyed owning it. There's Corvette has been done right for a very long time. I mean, it's always stayed Corvette, like what you expect. This big C8 change they went through, they pulled it off in a way I don't think many of us would have said we believed they could do, right? And they did. But I look at this, I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, obviously, we have this situation where the head of Corvette comes out and says there's no manual coming to C8, which was highly predictable, although he gave a really stupid answer, as executives tend to do in 2026 and basically the last decade, saying the C7 manual just didn't sell well. But you guys light money on fire all the time. Let's not act like every decision is some kind of goddamn profit and loss decision. Like, come on, man.
I did see that.
Stupid answer.
I did see that, and he said it with such conviction too, where he was like, "Look, as much as we love it, manual, you gotta enjoy, a stick, but you voted with your dollars." Like he's telling the press, whoever asked him the question,
as if you didn't just take like a $15 billion write down on bad decisions. Well, let's stop acting like every decision is some kind of like. And I had a guy that works at Ford and went back and forth on YouTube, and he was a guy with a good perspective. But he said the same thing. He's like, well, we put our money, and the first comment I said to him is I go,
we?
Yeah, I said, well, let me ask you a question since it's all about portfolio management and balancing your money. Where's those billions of dollars you always write down come into great portfolio management? And it was a lot of crickets at that point. The head of Corvette, they don't want to build a manual. The part that continually offends me as a human being is when these car companies act like they don't light money on fire every month of the year for the last 25, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
You guys light money on fire for dumb decisions all the time. Throwing a manual in the C8 is not about a profit and loss statement. It's about the statement of we have the most complete brand of anybody building a sports platform at this price point. That's why you would build a manual. Now, if you say you don't want to do that, all good. That's your decision. But to always point when it lets them off the hook, they point to the profit and loss. Well, nobody bought the C7 when it was manual. We didn't have high sales numbers. Bud, you have shit tons of platforms that are underwater. Like Ford Lightning didn't sell gangbusters, my guy. So don't act like you guys make all of these intelligent decisions based around profit and loss and who's going to buy what.
See, that's the thing that gets me the most, dude. And we've talked about it quite a bit, and we will continue to if we keep getting answers like this from the brass of some of these companies. They're looking at you, whether it was the press that asked the question or the listener and viewer that might just be watching the interview somewhere, they're looking at you like you are really, really uneducated on everything. 100%. They're not some sort of, holier than thou, philanthropic, trying to save money. Talk about the most, literally reckless individuals when it comes to money and business and a lot of aspects of how they run an organization. You know what I mean?
No question. So I'll give you an example. I know I said Ford Lightning and we were talking about C8. I believe the biggest write-down that happened last year for an American manufacturer was GM.
Yeah, I think we talked about it, yeah.
Right? So the head of Corvette is telling you that the manual was a profit and loss decision, as if that's how they base their decisions. Buddy,
it's so dumb.
Your company just wrote off the biggest amount of money at the end of last year because of all the bad decisions. Like you said, they can insult your intelligence because it's been allowed to happen.
Yeah.
This is the problem with not having a media for decades holding these people accountable. If you ever want to know the importance of journalism, it's what this guy said. That's the importance. Because had they been held accountable for the last 25, 30, 40 years by people that are quote unquote supposed to be journalists, he wouldn't be saying stuff like this.
And this happens in every industry. They're undermining your intelligence in every industry.
Yeah. And I get why they're not building it, guys. I mean, I get why they're not building it. They know they're not going to sell a ton of them, but they don't build everything to sell a ton of them. If you look at Ford and GTD, they're not building GTD because it's highly profitable and they're going to sell a bunch of them. They just wanted to do it. They just didn't want to get left behind. They wanted to show you their chops at building a car like that to go to the ring and race around. Great reason to build it if you're in a car company. Where was the profit and loss conversation in that? So we only bring it up when it's convenient to let us off the hook of something.
Yeah. It's only when we're going to take a loss for the general public. But when we take a loss for ourselves or something we took a stab at, we're good. It's all good.
We're good. I mean,
no biggie.
Just think about how many of these companies have dumped money into IndyCar and NASCAR. That's nothing but a loss. It is nothing but a loss. But they're doing it internally. They go, well, that's for branding. The same reason that a C8 Corvette would have a manual is to use it as a branding thing. So, and by the way, you would spend a lot less money than dumping money into these motorsports and all this other crap that you do. I'm good with all of it. I just don't like when the excuse comes up when the public is clamoring to see you do something and you go, well, the profit and loss doesn't really support that. It's like, well, it doesn't support 65% of what you do.
It's so dumb. And you know what? I believe that the Grand Sport is going to be replacing the E-Ray, which we were just talking about. I was telling you how much I love the E-Ray.
Yeah.
So at the very least, why don't we do, and you want to really talk about a rare Corvette in the modern era, make a manual version of something. Instead of getting rid of the E-Ray altogether, turn that into your manual.
Yeah, and I think there's just an interesting conversation around manuals right now. If all of these executives are so smart and they tell you they're in tune with everything, I'll take them at their word, even though we know it's not true. They got to be seeing Ferrari-gated manuals and all of these older manuals going for tons of money. Nobody's saying that it has to be the bedrock of your car company. But if you're Aston Martin, if you're Maserati, nobody cares about your brand. Would I be throwing some manuals out there to get some buzz around my brand? I couldn't do it fast enough.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it fast enough. And it'd be the same thing I would say about C8. Hey, man, I am never going to be the idiot that goes, you're going to sell millions of manuals. No, man, it's kind of to do a flex and say, look at what we're capable of still today of giving you all of these different experiences. And if you ran a business that didn't light billions of dollars on fire with bad decisions, I wouldn't be saying this. If I go, hey, look, Ford's just been disciplined for 50 years. They don't waste money. They do everything by the profit and loss. GM does everything by the profit and loss. They're just not going to do things that don't make them money. Then you would have a point. The problem is every year you light hundreds of millions and in most cases billions of dollars on fire. So the profit and loss, man, that's not a good angle for a company like that.
And then on top of that, I don't know which one's the cherry on top, the profit and loss, and it's all about the money and what it sells and what doesn't, or the performance. Well, what we have is just far superior performance-wise. Look, bro, everything's fast. The Prius is pretty fucking fast these days. You know what I mean? Like, we get it.
Yeah.
It's not the only reason why you didn't build a manual because it's not faster than your current setup.
Yep. And there's no question. I think it's fun to talk about.
Oh, I love it.
And I just can't believe these people say what they say. So I'm more and more fascinated. As somebody that if I was running these companies, I'd be like, everybody needs to shut up and we need to go to work. I don't ever want it to stop.
Bro, the irony of a lot of this too is that we're seeing things with let's just use college sports as the example. Just a matter of fact, yesterday I was reading some stuff on all this whole NIL thing and people getting plucked to do ESPN broadcasting or ESPN sidelines or NBC this or whatever. They're only doing it because that individual who may or may not be a student or is a recent grad or whatever or going into college is really good at doing this. They can talk to a camera. Ironically, the people that have power and supposedly a lot of money are terrible at talking into a camera.
And they just say... I want everybody that listens to us to go, yes, man, profit and loss in business, that sheet, that balance sheet, it matters. These companies have shown you they don't give a rip about the balance sheet 60 to 70% of the time. So to bring it up for a reason they don't do something cool is the stupidest reason they could give. The reason he could have given is what you said. Hey, man, this is a performance platform. We don't want to build anything that would take away from performance. Now, you don't have to agree with that, but that's the end of the comment. if I put a manual in this, it's going to have less performance than the stuff we're building. So that's why we're not doing it. Next question. You can all debate that and say, well, like you said, everything's fast, whatever. But at least it's a legitimate reason to say this. We're not taking this platform and making it less performance.
Yeah.
We think this whole platform is about performance. That's not what he said in its entirety. He said, and people didn't buy the C7, bud. You should have stopped at the
Stop
performance.
while you were ahead, bro.
Yeah. So I think that's the funniest part of this. And I hope our listeners find it as interesting as we do, because I just can't believe they say some of this stuff as if they don't light the most. They might be the businesses that light the most money on fire in the world.
Yeah, GM in general or car companies?
Car companies in general.
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt.
They light money on fire.
Because you know what? It'll probably happen again in our lifetime, but they know Papa Taxpayer will bail them out.
100%. And the bailout thing is an interesting thing that people got very, very up and on. And sometimes we'll see it in comments or emails. Guys, Boeing's in the same position, right? Like the U.S. would never let Boeing fail because they need aerospace being built in the U.S. What you have to realize is they don't want these manufacturers to go away because there's a lot of wartime things that go into having these auto manufacturers and aviation manufacturers that can be switched over in a time of war. I want to throw that out there because I think a lot of people don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the taxpayer should have to bail out GM and Ford. There's an understanding, though, that you can't let this capability go away because of some things that may come down the road. And I don't think that's ever been said enough about why a lot of this stuff kind of happens.
Yeah, and that obviously is way more understandable, or at least it should be. But you almost can't expect the common American to really know that or really like hang their hat on that's one of the reasons, because we're inundated with all the other
There's
stuff.
enough World War II docs. Like just, you know what I mean?
Or just go watch Ford versus Ferrari. You get a little bit of a sneak peek in that.
Hey, what's that dude's name? Ed Burns?
Yeah. The PBS guy?
Yeah, look, he's got a lot of stuff out there documentary-wise. Just get the box set, just do it over a weekend. You'll kind of get the picture. I think isn't his name Ed Burns?
It's not Ed. It's PBS doc. That guy's a really good storyteller. His most recent one on the Civil War was a little interesting.
No, that's not the recent. It was the Revolutionary War.
Oh, Revolutionary War, yeah. He's done some really good ones, though. PBS.
I thought his name was Ed Burns.
Ken Burns.
Ken Burns. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, Ed Burns, if you're out there.
Ed Burns is dead. Okay, Ken Burns took his place.
Yeah, Ken Burns.
But I hope that was a good take on the Grand Sport and the Chevy stuff. It's really interesting. I personally, the Grand Sport has always been my favorite platform because you get the best of both worlds. You don't have to go all the way up to a Z06 or beyond to get the wide body, get the power.
C8 has been done very well, man. It doesn't seem like the foreseeable future there's going to be a lot that we disagree with. It's being done well. They're just kind of releasing so much. It just, for me, kind of drowns out. I just go, get the one you like, the one you can afford, and kind of move on with your life.
Yeah. Or hold off because there'll be a ton of used ones in a year or two.
Oh, yeah. The prices are coming down.
The price is wrong, bitch. Oh, rest in peace, Bob Barker. All right, dude. We might actually have an Infiniti FX Reborn. Uh-oh. I hope you agree with me on this. Okay. Introducing the 2027 Infiniti QX65.
Oh, come on.
What? You disagree? It is across.
Hold on. I don't disagree with it coming back. So don't put words in my mouth.
Well, I meant the look. The look. Sorry.
Let me see. I got to see the tail end of this thing. They give me a decent shot at maybe I just reacted too quickly.
Well, that would be a first, wouldn't it?
That'd be pretty much every time we're on the show, I think. I gotta get a little bit more aggressive, Rob. I gotta get more aggressive. I know they won't. This was an all-time SUV platform to me.
Yep.
The cool factor.
That's a good angle, though, right there.
Yeah, that is a good angle. I will say,
the black roof pisses me off, though, I will say.
The Infiniti brand, and I understand why they do it, it's just, this seems too close to the Nissan design. Mm-hmm. And I think I need some more separation, don't I? I love that they're bringing this platform back.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm going to have to see this one. I'm going to have to see this one in person.
Look at all that space, though. I mean,
it was a great platform, man, and I'm glad they're
Yeah.
bringing it back. I got to see this a little bit more in person to see. Hey, that gear knob, that shift knob, not the most elegant feature.
No, it's very Ranger-esque, which I hate. I hate when some of the trims of the modern Ranger have this stupid. I mean, imagine when you're like off road, if you ever take it off road, and you really got to shift quickly from whatever driving, and you're like, I'm trying to like
somebody screaming, "This ain't an off roader, Rob. You don't know what you're talking about."
Oh man, I love the internet comments.
Hey, how
Good,
about,
bad, indifferent.
I'll ask this question: how everybody feels about it? Because I'm not staunchly one way or the other. The speakers in the headrest. Something you were clamoring for?
I think it's the dumbest thing.
I've had a few, cars that I've been in, and I go, okay. I mean,
I actually don't like it. Here's a hot take for you. I don't like it because it takes away from the actual like if you have a good, usually those cars that have the headrest speakers have a good audio system altogether.
Sure.
If you were to turn those off, you would get the whole like ambiance in the car. When they're in your ear and you have everything else to the side of you going.
But here's the thing: if you have somebody riding next to you that maybe you don't want to hear much chatter, it could be a bonus. You'd be like, sorry,
You picked the wrong partner if that's the case. All right, everybody? Sorry.
I'm sorry. You guys are always doing great over at your house. Okay. I mean, Rob is now going to be a marriage therapist. Come on, dude.
Oh, I could be your marriage counselor. I could be your, parent counselor. I could be whatever the hell you want me to be.
You guys are all just sunshines and rainbows all the time. Gotcha.
Rob is all sunshines and rainbows. If the other person is, not
that's
on me.
That's what I'm saying. If they're having a bad day and the speakers are in your ear, maybe that's a benefit. You just look at them and go, hey, I can't hear you. The speakers are, in my ear. That's all I'm saying.
To quote myself, not going to kill my vibe. I'll just go about my day. When you're ready to talk like an adult, come see me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but QX65. It is a crossover. It is a little bit, obviously, different-ish dimensions.
Are they calling it QX and not FX?
They're calling it QX.
Oh, come on. Bring the FX
That's why I
back.
said it's like esque. They should have just, honestly, they should have gone back to the FX. We talk about names all the time.
I think anybody that was able to buy cars during a certain time, you can't explain how far Infiniti has fallen.
I know.
Once upon a time, cool coupe, cool cars, good SUVs. Dare I say, ahead of their time versus what everybody else was doing.
Especially for the time in the early 2000s. Yeah.
I mean, that FX was way ahead of its time.
Let me give you this angle. Tell me what comes to mind. Actually, there were a lot of pictures in there.
That looks a lot better from that angle.
Now, does it give you a little bit of Porsche vibes?
A little bit. It's a good car.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. A little bit of a long Porsche vibe. Yeah, no, I want to see Infiniti back in that, 2000 to 2010 vibe.
Yeah, or even 2012. I think the FX may have died in 2012, but around there.
Basically a decade run where they were doing a lot of things right. It's the same thing you could say about Acura. I mean, Infiniti and Acura, you kind of feel like their teams have to be hanging out. Like they don't hang out with anybody else except Acura and Infiniti people. They're like,
you are those of you hanging around,
I know you're
right?
Honda, I know you're Nissan, but we're going to go to happy hour together and we're going to talk about how smart we are and we're going to give each other, advice.
That's where the bad ideas come from.
Yeah,
you're a product of your environment.
Yeah,
dude,
it's gotta
that's
be
a great point.
Yeah, so I want Infiniti back because I don't know, man. I mean, you remember like I do that run of just good stuff, for what it was. Fairly affordable, a little bit nicer than Nissan, totally unique to them. So I'm going to root any brand on, just like I would Acura. I owned a CL Type S, Grand Coupe. I love that car. That was a great car. And I just want to see these brands back. But you got to stop going to the happy hour together. I mean, you got to get some new friends.
Can you imagine what the Honda happy hour could possibly be like? Honda Pro Jason, I don't like that.
Look,
Honda Pro
where
Jason
I grew up is
show.
very deep Honda territory, so you better watch yourself, Rob.
Well, since you brought it up, as a matter of fact, this was kind of on the side note as just a side story, but since we brought up Acura by no real intention, they're celebrating 40 years. So check this out. They are celebrating 40 years with this Integra. So Acura celebrates turning 40 by building this rad Integra race car.
I like that.
That's really cool. This
really
is
cool.
I think it's a late 80s. Tiny 1.6 liter four cylinder. I mean, Acura was launched March 27th, 1986. Today is March 27th, 2026. Boy, time flies.
Man, that's awesome. Just a different time. Just a different cool factor, a brand that's lost its way. And, I think there's a lot of younger people probably listening to us. You just never got to experience these brands doing cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that sucks. That's why you got to root on that. Like I said, they get some new friends, they get some new ideas, and they figure this thing out.
That's the hardest part in today's world is making new friends. Nobody leaves home, and if you do, you're triggered by everything people say.
And I think they canceled the metaverse, so you're screwed.
Oh, I did. I told Nick, I was like, dude, there's no augmented reality future like everybody said.
So now you really can't hang out.
Exactly. Well, you go into Minecraft or the other game the kids play. Roblox. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
It seems like that might not be the chat room you want to hang out in.
Every other video. Yeah, by the way, disable chat in your kids' games, no matter what game it is. Xbox, tablet, disable chat. But also, every other video is like Roblox just come to take your kids, which there might be true, obviously, but what a crazy time. Like, you can't play a video game without somebody trying to be a pedo.
You just can't play Madden in peace anymore.
Hey, speaking of video games, though, Nick, you're over there in the desert turning into a full-fledged Rocket League center. So for those who don't know, Vegas has basically Rocket League in real life, where you can go into the desert and play with, again, going back to Honda Civics, and you just play soccer with these cars.
Oh yeah, we're back, baby. And by the way,
I want to see you.
The ball says America on it.
It
the
does.
Ball that you, I mean it. One of the things I try to tell people, if you don't understand Vegas and you think about the Strip, Vegas really isn't the Strip anymore. It's such a big city. But there is a craziness to the stuff that people will do. Like, people just shoot guns in the desert, like behind people's houses.
And by guys, you mean Sean Strickland, basically.
Yeah, like
he's everywhere.
Like, one of my buddies, his house backs up to BLM land. And he can just take his 9mm like out his back and just shoot right into the mountain. And it's in a neighborhood. That's
pretty sweet, actually.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's technically, he lives in a neighborhood. So yeah, it's a wild place. But it was pretty cool to see that video.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I could pull it up real quick just with that. Mother of God. You know what I hate? No, I'm not even going to play it. TikTok and Instagram will do this thing where sometimes you pull it up on the desktop and they'll mute the audio for you. And then a week later, they'll do it automatically where they unmute it for you. I'm like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, well.
Pick a feature, stick with it.
Jamie doesn't struggle.
Oh, well, Jaime has his ups and downs, all right? Jaime has his ups and downs. We have another little input here from YouTube. Team Small Fry says, I found a deal on Marketplace. After taking Nick's advice on what I can now say is a proud owner of a 2002 100 Series Land Cruiser, I will spend a bit of money to make sure she's up to date on maintenance, but beyond stoked. PS Team LX460 and LC100 for the win.
Yeah, buddy.
So we need to give your tips. See, I'm telling you, back to what I'm saying. We need to put all your tips into a PDF guide, right? If you want a good deal, follow
the tips
will
be only buy these cars that I like. If you buy anything else, I don't agree with it, right? Come on.
That's true.
I mean, that's
Nick's
like
buying guide.
Here's the cars I like. Don't buy anything
Nick's
else.
buying guide. It's only buy these cars. Otherwise, you're doing it wrong. Remove your email from my newsletter. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of buying tips, guys. I bought a lot of cars, but this shit's pretty simple. Better buy what you like.
I'm glad you said that. This shit's pretty simple because there's this interesting story of a pair of Massachusetts, software developers that essentially, what it says here, they created from an open source AI agent a way to negotiate purchases, bypassing the traditional listing site. So I wanted to ask you, do you really think because between you and I say it's that easy to just go in with what you want to spend, just the simple stuff we've said.
Stuff.
Would the AI agent really solve that many issues for somebody to work a deal?
There seems to be people that have a real hard time doing things face-to-face or on the phone. You don't have that struggle. I don't have that struggle. So for those people, probably. I mean, there's a lot of people that just can't handle it. I think that's what the last, 18 months on this podcast has basically proven to you and I, is that people are very, very uneasy about a lot of this stuff. I think we're going to get to a point. I have no idea when this is going to be, but maybe AI is what ushers it in, where essentially you'll have a software, AI, doesn't matter, that you use on the consumer side, and you send an offer in on a car, and they probably have some type of AI on their side, and it sends back whether they accept it or not. I don't feel like we're that far away from that. I don't know how highly efficient it's going to be in the next year, 2 years, 5 years. I mean, I can't really predict that, but it seems like we're headed that way. I mean, that's kind of how I do deals now. So I just send the email, or I get on the phone and say, hey, we'll give you, $110,000 for this car, take it or leave it. And if they say, come get it, I just think there's a lot of people that are uneasy with the experience of having to talk to somebody about buying a car. And because I don't have that, I don't think this is no different than what I'm doing now. Maybe AI can speed it up and I can send 50 of them out at a time around the country. I mean, I could do that, but I think for people that struggle, this is probably going to be something that gets used and implemented at some point.
So we've talked about Tommy, who runs the Delivered channel, which a lot of us have seen his clips negotiating deals. There's nothing funnier to me than when there's an old school head kind of salesman who now has found social media and said, you know what, I'm just going to start talking to the camera.
Did you pull that video up?
I don't have it because I just thought of it since we're talking about it. But this guy's basically saying, like, you're paying... God damn it. Making me lose my train of thought. No, but this grandpa's like, he didn't name him, but he's like, you got these people on the internet that are, charging you $1,000 and they're saying they're doing 200 deals, a month, charging you XYZ to get this deal. You need to call us directly, that kind of thing. Just roasting individuals who are making a deal, kind of like the AI agent would for the customer, because it's easier for them or whatever. I just find that really entertaining because... And it's always also funny when a really bad salesman exposes themselves without knowing what he just said or how he said it, because he's hoping the person listening on the other side doesn't really
and he also
get
doesn't understand the math. And this has been a big part of my business for 15 years. If somebody pays you, let's just use a bigger number, $5,000 to negotiate a deal on a really expensive car, and they save you $40,000. Was that money poorly spent? Well, you're paying him $1,000. Well, if he gets you $7,000 off the car, it's a drop in the bucket, right? You just go, yeah, I'm 6,000 to the positive because I dealt with this guy. I think social media is an interesting place because, and we're very active on social, so this isn't like a comment on everybody else. To your point, when you go on social media and you don't get it, it comes across so much worse than you think. Mm-hmm. Because I just said why these AI things might take off. This salesman's not understanding that some people are just uncomfortable with it. So they'll pay that guy $1,000 just to not have to deal with the uncomfortable stuff. Then they'll pay $1,000 to get X number of dollars off a car. So is there a reason to pay somebody? My clients would tell you, yeah, there's a reason to pay. Theirs is more, we don't want to, we're busy and we don't want to deal with it. But for the average person, I've said this on this podcast, I think more than once, I'll say it now. If you hire a real estate agent, but you don't hire somebody to help you negotiate a car deal, it's never made sense to me. Because actually real estate is highly regulated. Like you can not use a real estate agent, save that 3%, 5%, whatever it is in your area, get a real estate attorney for $1,500 to look over the paperwork, and it's a wrap. Ask me how I know, right? It's not that those people don't have value. It's just that there is a more efficient way to do it. That doesn't mean everybody has to do it that way. And that's the misunderstanding of this guy. But he's not doing enough car deals for you to make this video. 200 car deals in the number of car deals that get done per month across the United States, it's not even worth talking about. It's like, okay, you did 200 car. There's dealerships that do 1,000 car deals a month. 1,500 car deals a month. More than that. And you look around and you go, bud, you just don't see what is going on here. Like, it's not uncommon for just one dealer to do 500 plus car deals a month. So why are you worried about a guy that does 200 across the entire United States? It's just not something worth even talking about.
Yeah, Nick has this famous line from Pints and Polishing every now and again where you'll say like, I see what you do, and it could be regarded to whatever, somebody in business or just a regular person. Like, I see what you do on the internet, from time to time, and like this guy probably not selling as many cars just because you're talking about someone else selling cars on the internet.
Yeah, and I think it's become very apparent that people don't understand that others can see what you're doing on the internet, and it sounds crazy to say it that way until you realize how many people do stupid shit on the internet. And we're all a fan of it because a lot of the shit makes us laugh. So I don't want them to stop doing it. But I think what that Tommy guy does is it's a fine business model, and it seems like he helps plenty of people. But I think a lot of us that are comfortable in the car business, I would say even me, at times I forget how many people are just uncomfortable dealing with people on this type of level at this type of purchase. And you got to kind of understand that.
Absolutely. I had this video sent to me that said apparently this guy is responsible for making vans popular, not Nick.
That's bull. I was way before.
Okay, let me tell you, I'm so stoked right now. I did the little videos of and my buddies chilling at the Chick-fil-A, closed at 11, in the handicap, yes, but no one was there, but whatever. But it's dirty. But you know what, guys? Let me tell you something. I just won. I won at life. I'm stoked. You know why? Because T-Pain commented on my shit, and I am stoked. Come on, guys. I'm telling you, vans are the way to go. I'm telling you.
I love it.
So funny. Did you see the original video at 7-Eleven where him and like 3 or 4 other of these Siennas are parked out
Hey,
there?
dude, that looks really good. That looks really good. Like, I just having a conversation with one of the guys on my team that he saw, Sienna has that real dark green color that you see from time to time. He says something to his significant other, and she kind of bristles. Now, mind you, this guy works on the rare cars that we work on. And he's like, and he's been with me over a decade, and he's like, she just acts like I don't know what I'm talking about. I said, bud, story of my life.
Story of my life.
I mean, the van is a thing that was widely accepted at some point in culture and then just got a bad rap. And I think we're back, Rob. I think we're back.
Absolutely. We're healing. That's how I like to say it. We're healing.
The world's healing.
The world is healing.
Hey, play that Michael Jackson song. What is it? We are the world.
Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I'm going to go ahead and play. In case you missed this video, it went pretty viral like a week or 2 ago, but I'm going to play it for people that are watching on YouTube. No audio, just them. Oh, it was Chick-fil-A. I said 7-Eleven. Yeah,
dude,
that's that green, actually.
Yep.
That's the one in the middle.
So good.
With the bronze wheels, too, right?
Hey.
Love it.
You put a cognac interior.
Shit, that might actually have a cognac interior.
Cognac interior on that green. Boy, you'd be doing something. They look good, man.
They look really good. So, question. Okay, we've seen the what was the Hellcat version? Look at that. I didn't even notice that was a carbon fiber hood on this one.
Hey, the odds that is really well done carbon fiber are as close to 0% as you can get.
Sir, if you see this clip, I want you to let me know if that's real carbon fiber on that hood. Would you rather have this nice wheels, nice color, slammed, maybe airbags, or the off-road version?
Off-road.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
Safari Sienna would be off the hook.
Okay, off-road Sienna or slam Sienna or an off-road Chrysler Pacifica?
I mean, your engine could blow up the first day you get it. Sienna.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I know.
The amount of comments we still get every day, but it's still a Chrysler.
I know.
But it's still a Chrysler.
It's a great point. It is still a Chrysler. Yes.
What is that thing called? The Grizzly. The Grizzly.
Yeah. Don't act like you didn't know. You got that pulled up on a tab 24/7. Like, man, what are these going for?
Well, I'm hoping that somebody makes an equivalent of a Grizzly that's like, because I think that did look cool. Like,
yeah, I mean, 100%. And like a really well done Safari Sienna. Like, if you guys keep watching us at the level, we got to build one.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're not
or Nick just has to buy one.
We're not getting that far from we need those YouTube numbers to get higher. So please go watch on YouTube, because this money, for everybody doesn't know, we have other gigs. This is not a source of huge income.
Yeah.
So if we just got enough income out of this, I'd look at Rob and go, I know you want to do a lot of stuff, but we're getting a Sienna and we're going to go ahead and Safari that thing.
I mean, why not? Take it to SEMA, have a Clutch Culture booth where you just have your minivan.
I actually think it'd be above SEMA. You'd be like,
I like it.
SEMA gets kind of corny at times. We'll make our own car show.
I like that.
You know?
You're in the best place to do it, too.
What is it? The anti-SEMA social club or whatever it is? I'm not anti-SEMA. Relax. I'm a member.
Relax.
Take a
Nick's
deep
been
breath.
going for 30 years.
Yeah, just so we're clear, I'm a SEMA member.
I did get, so it's kind of on the same subject of like older cars and cool cars. I got this video. All right, I'm gonna play some of the audio and then I'm gonna stop it halfway through because it's got music I can't play on YouTube. But 78,005 is the thumbnail here, and it's gonna tell you something.
To this in less than a year. Everybody drives them. I picked up stuff in it, got it washed. I even parked in electric only spaces. So why?
So, and then he starts showing, plays some music and shows all the reasons why he sold his $80,000 truck and bought a $2,500 GMC. I see this so much more
Chevy.
now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chevy. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Rob is making a lot of mistakes.
God damn it.
I think this is sort of an interesting, I don't want to say phenomenon, but I think it's becoming one.
It is a phenomenon. I agree. I would totally say it's a phenomenon.
Where obviously this is a guy that likes the Chevy brand, and he just gets a new one, gets let down immensely at what the new
Time
one,
and time again.
yeah, what what he's getting in return, and then goes and finds that part of the brand where he's like, I'm just happier with this. I wonder. This is never going to be the majority or even the minority of them. I mean, this is the niche of the niche of the niche of the market.
It is, yeah.
I think a lot of people that listen to us are probably in this guy's shoes where they just go, man, I got the new one, didn't like it. We're hearing this a lot from Tundra right now. Got the new Tundra. I've had Tundras for a decade. I went back and bought the Tundra that I liked the most because I didn't like the new Tundra. They're not really picking on the Tundra. They're just saying, I liked something better. I liked an experience better. It spoke to me more. That's always going to be a very small fraction of the market, but it is becoming sort of a phenomenon of people that support a brand, in this case Chevy in this clip, and then they go back and buy something that they go, I just like this part of the brand better. I think that's my whole thing with BMW for me. Like, I could easily go buy a new M2 Comp. It just doesn't speak to me.
Yeah.
So I stay in the BMW pocket that I like to see.
Yeah, and somebody was commenting too about the M2 Comp. I forgot what year it was, but there's that little pocket of where it's just like, that's one of my, in my opinion, like the perfect BMW is that M2.
Sure. I mean, look, you can say this about everything. Like, Audi when it had the R8, you go, dude, that R8 was special. I want to go back and experience that. But you could also be somebody that says, I don't really like anything that Audi's putting out at the moment, that it doesn't speak to me, right? I mean, this is across all brands, and we are talking a niche of a buyer, right? I think just a lot of us are really trying to find the things that speak to us. And some people, that could be 3 years old, a 2023 that they liked better, or you could be in this guy's position where he's back, 2005, or he's back in 1998, or I think it is becoming one of these things that you see for people that want to support the brand they like. They get the new thing and they're like, this isn't the part of the brand I like.
Well, speaking of a niche, I wasn't even going to bring it up, but that reminds me, the Car Cave video that we talked about probably 2 episodes ago, there was a clip of it that went out, and that's the sentiment that a lot of people either really hate, I think we know they really hate it, but it is for a niche of a niche of a niche who's going to pay $250,000, $300,000 for it instead of buying one on Marketplace for $10,000 and then putting a quarter of the money in there.
Let's say something as an educational point.
Okay, I like it. I like education.
When you see a price point of $250,000 to $350,000, they don't care that they can buy a cheaper one.
And they're also not going to build it themselves.
Yeah, so you giving that group of people a tip on how to save money, they don't care.
You're at your depth.
Yeah, they can drive the thing off the cliff that day, not miss the money. You're not flexing by telling people who can afford a $250,000 to $350,000 Land Cruiser anything. I don't care what kind of advice you think you're going to give them. How do I know this? I'm in that market every day. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care about anybody's opinion on being able to get something for less money. And this is where whatever stage you are at in life from a buying power perspective, you assume everybody else is in that stage. And if you've never been to that part of the market, you don't realize, This is why I always tell people you should go to Barrett-Jackson in Scottsdale, because you will see people pay stuff for a vehicle that you'll go. Then you'll look over and you go, oh, that guy's got a lot of cheddar, it looks like. I get it. He just wants it. You don't think it's the right one. You don't think it's the right dollar amount. You don't think this. You don't think that. If this guy's got $25 million cash to play with, he doesn't give a shit. He's earning more interest on that money than what he just spent. He doesn't care. And we have a really hard time watching an internet clip, seeing that something's expensive, and seeing it from the point of view of, bud, there's a whole part of the market that ain't trying to do it cheaper. They're not trying to get into a full build. They want to order it, never think about it again,
have it shipped to their door,
have it arrive 14 months later or whenever it arrives. They never even called about it again. They said, here's your $300,000. Here's my address. Let me know when it's on the way. You want to know how I know that that's what they do? Because that's the world I'm in. I've had people wait on cars for years and never ask a single question about them. And if I told you the dollar amount, you'd be like, what do you mean you didn't call about it? Bud, not an email, not a text, not a call. Never thought about it.
Not a telegram.
Wired the money in June of 2020, didn't get the car till June of 2025, never brought it up.
There's levels to
There's levels. And so, oh, well, you could get this for, yeah, man, you could. Those people don't care. It's not even a thought. And that is the thing to really get in your head about the car business. Your position is your position. That's why people overpay for cars, because they don't understand their position. When you have all this money at your disposal, which a lot more people than you think have a type of disposable cash that most people don't understand that person has, these things aren't a thought.
Speaking of, we got about 2 or 3 more stories here. So speaking of a car that's out of most people's price ranges, we did talk about the new LFA towards the end of the year, beginning of this 2026 year.
Yep.
But I saw pricing that I hadn't seen before. 2029 Lexus LFA, $550,000.
I love that's estimated, Rob. That's estimated.
It is estimated. It's going to be closer to 700. You're right.
Yep. Yep.
Right. And we also know that, well, we don't know performance, but we do know that it's probably going to be full electric. There's really not a whole lot.
The crazy thing about it being what I think they're saying it's going to be an electric platform is, the hype video, it has like really deep exhaust noise in the video.
That was all pumped up through the
and I'm like, okay.
Why would you waste any time on that aspect of the video?
You're telling me this is the next generation of you showing off your EV chops. I mean, it looks good.
It looks cool.
I don't know how interested I am in it. I guess I'd have to see one in person. I mean, if Lexus wanted us to give us one, I'd be interested. I don't know.
I can just see Nick. This is the new.
Yeah. So they don't they have a yoke in this? Yep.
Yeah.
There it is. That's such a stupid idea. Again, it's a concept, so I'm sure this goes. I guess we hope it goes away. That is so stupid. I mean, did you not learn from the Tesla experiment? This is just stupid.
People were they were oohing and on about these scroller wheels that you can click in.
It is well done. It's well done. I mean,
it looks like knurling on my barbell right here. The knurling on the.
Yeah, exactly. Now, it's just we all wanted a different LFA. Let's just all say it. It looks cool. We all wanted the Heritage LFA. We're not going to get it. It doesn't seem, and that's never. It just seems like we're down a road, man.
But if you have an LFA now, I mean, the prices will just continue to go up on those things.
100%.
And those debuted at like $300. This is going to debut.
Couldn't get rid of them.
Couldn't get rid of them. $300,000. This one's going to start at double that, and no one's going to want them. So
Yep.
That's the world we're living in.
Yep. They're making it for 3 people, but everything's about the P&L, Rob. Everything's about the P&L.
And this is Lexus, so another company who you could just look at and say, a little reckless on her decision, so I don't know what we're doing here. The Japanese don't have it figured out. Why would the Americans be good stewards of the money?
One population's better at math than the other, so...
And yet, here we are, same outcome. Weird. Absolutely
But
strange.
if Rob said he can tell you how to parent, he can tell you how to do your relationship. So you might want to hit up Rob.
Well, you know what? If I say it, it sounds narcissistic like, but if someone says it for me, which I can find those people, all I could do is go like this, shrug my, they said it. Not
Rob
me.
doesn't need speakers to drown out his significant other because he never has any problems.
Well, I don't have a lot of them. Usually most problems arise from other people's stupidity around you, not necessarily your own decisions.
Wow.
That's just
I think
my
you might need to
perspective.
get some therapy for this.
No. If this world is one thing, it's over therapized. Right?
Rob's
That
like,
is
I'm
one-
not going to better myself. I'm not going to work on myself.
No, listen, I will work on myself at all times, but I think we're using that term a little too loosely these days with the
Sure.
amount of therapy and ADHD medicine that everybody needs.
Yep.
But there was actually a funny video of a kid on an e-dirt bike. He was probably like 7 or 8, and the caption was like like ADD dirt bike rider or something like that. And as he's mic'd up and he's like going around on this track and he's like, "Oh, I'm hungry. Ooh, I wonder if we have cookies at home. Ooh, cookies sound good. Yeah, cookies sound good." And he's like jumping on the ramp.
Yeah.
And then he makes a noise. He's like, "Ooh, that sounds like a parrot." Bah, bah. He's like making noises. In my mind, I was like, I bet this was Nick as a kid. I literally
buddy.
said.
I go back to the Ritalin days, which I don't even think exists anymore. So yeah, man, that's why I can understand kids doing dumb stuff. No question. Like
No question.
I was right in the middle seat right there of doing dumb stuff.
All right, we got 2 more things here. We just talked about really expensive cars between the LFA and that Car Cave Land Cruiser. We have from Autoblog the most reliable 5 cars of all time that just won't die. I'm sure you could guess some of these, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the list starting at number 1, and we'll work our way down. We've probably even discussed most of these ourselves because we either had one, liked them, or learned to drive in one. But we got the 5th generation Toyota pickup truck. For a fact, these won't die.
Yeah, no way.
I think Whistling Diesel even did a video of this years ago where he was trying to.
I haven't been deep into the Whistle and Diesel videos.
I haven't modern.
I might have to go watch some of those.
Yeah, the old school stuff. I mean, like he tore into one of these and it just would not die.
Yeah, that's a good way to start a list.
Crown Vic,
I mean, come on.
92 to 2011. What a run that was too, and they won't die.
And you still see people that got them at police auctions out here in every city around the country. No question. That's it's a good start to a list.
It is number 3.
Oh,
The Mercedes.
yes.
Dude, these for a fact. The 123, 240D, and 300.
They're never going to die.
Get a good diesel in there.
And
Crank
a
up.
proper estate car there on the left.
Proper estate car.
Yep.
The color as well. This is the only time I'd appreciate a yellow car.
Yeah, good call.
Is in that Mercedes. Number 4, I love the 6th Gen Civics. Probably not your style, but this one right here, this goes hard.
It doesn't go hard, but it won't die. Yes.
It goes so hard. Okay? There'll be no slander of these.
What are the odds that those white wheels will be permanently brown in 3 weeks?
Well, those are probably already like just spray painted, if we're being honest here.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
And number 5, probably one of Nick's favorites, the Lexus LS 400.
Dude, I just saw a mint one of these on the freeway. I tried to get a picture, but the sun was glaring right. It was in the morning, and I was right into the sun. I saw a black one with the gold badges, perfect condition, not an ounce of tint to be seen.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Unbelievable. It was in mint condition. I tried to snap I'll send it to you after the podcast. I tried to snap a picture, and the car just looks like a shadow because it was directly into the sunlight and I was on the freeway. This is why you don't drive your scooter, because I'm the guy trying to like get a picture going 75 miles an hour.
Admittedly so, yep.
Yeah, it looked awesome. Still a car that in person, when it is untouched, unmodified, still holds up design-wise in person, which is pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, and it's really crazy because it looks, I mean, it is a plain Jane car if you ever saw one, but it's plain Jane in the best of ways.
Yes,
from
good way
front to
say it.
back.
Great way to say it.
Dimensions, the layout, the even the two-tone coloring, that they use.
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world because I was young when these came out, or younger, and I believe they had an ad. They may have put it in print, but they definitely had a commercial where they had the champagne glass on the engine, and when you started it up, nothing rattled. Like it didn't even move.
I've seen that.
I know it's things that get done after that, but I thought it was like the coolest thing. I just didn't have anything to like compare it to, right? It was just sort of one of those times in my life. I'm like, I've never seen this, but that always sticks out in my mind about that car. And I think they even did the quarter test where they put a quarter vertically.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I always say it's really, really rare. I think Genesis kind of proves my point on this. They put so much time, effort, and money into doing it right the first time. It just does not happen very often. And I think that's what makes it one of the cool cars.
That's a really good point. And when you do that level of work to achieve that level of refinement so early on, I mean, we're talking 89, right?
Yeah, they're going to battle with S-Class. I mean, they're going right after S-Class with this car at the time, which, you know, had a stranglehold on that sedan market, that buyer, and very quickly just basically said, this is probably better.
And for a long, and that would have told a customer at the time, if they were, you know, if they were savvy enough to just really like examine what they were buying or what they were looking at, what the rest or what the next couple of decades would look like for a brand like that. When you take another brand, we'll just use Ford as an example or GM, and you see the lack of refinement in cars from the 80s, you're like, huh.
So I have a wild story with LS400. So I had a family member that had an LS400 at the time. So I got to drive it, but I'm like 16, 17. I put that vehicle in a front yard because it was snowing.
Okay.
And it had all kinds of, I didn't know what I was doing. Put it in the front yard. Luckily, nothing happened. Had a stepsister, totaled that car. Fun story.
No, that's a terrible story.
I'm just saying, that's my LS400 story. I mean, how many LS400 stories you got, Rob? I can only tell the story I got.
You're right. Well, I mean, it was terrible that the car got wrecked. I'm not saying it was terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah. I mean, everybody was fine. Airbags deployed, you know, some roughed up chin and face lacerations. We're all good. But when I think back to driving that car, which I actually got to drive quite a bit, I didn't actually know how good it was. Like, think about that. There's not a lot of cars from that era that you got to drive and go, I just didn't recognize how good it was. Most of the time you're like, hey, this was a cool experience. Like, but it was just a luxury. It was just a sedan, right? So if you were at a certain age and you were young enough, you didn't really actually know what you were seeing. You just knew it was like, this is a cool sedan. Now I think back to that and I go, you know, it really didn't get a lot better than this.
Right. You're right. I actually only have one, and I'm going to be very transparent here. I'm going to be very vulnerable. I only have one story, and it was this girl in high school, and she was such a bitch that I hated the car because of her.
Yeah, that's I could see that.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, that's why some guys hate Eclipses and hate, you know, like a Dodge Talon. Like, I never loved the Talon. But, you know, then you find out,
Talon.
Then you found out Becky drove one and she dumped him, and he's got this weird hang up in his head. It's one of the rare cars in my life. The LS400 is a rare car for me that I don't think I even had 10% of the respect in the moment that I should have.
Yeah.
Because as we kept developing cars, I go, you know, it's
getting further away from a good thing.
It's really not better than this.
Yeah.
You know, the LS430 did build on the 400.
Yeah.
And so there's really an argument that the 430 is probably a better experience. But coming out of the gate like that is just something you can't put into words to people. That first generation luxury of that level, I'm not sure we've ever seen that. I mean,
there's actually like a sea of examples where you could do that, exactly what you just described, is look back and be like, we're actually leaving a really good thing over here, and it's not getting any better.
BMW.
Yeah, perfect example. All the people that are into the tech and bought into the EVs or whatever will never understand or appreciate any conversation like this or clips that are put out of these kind of conversations, because they'll think that, oh, you're just somebody that doesn't want to move into the future. It's like, no, we just really left behind some good stuff that you guys are just completely ignoring.
And I think people miss that about us. It's like, guys, I understand the evolution of things. Like, we just talked about the new M2, and first thing I said was they've done a great job with it. It just doesn't speak to me. So I'm not anti-evolution, but the way you put it is probably correct, is that sometimes you think to yourself, we did leave stuff behind. You know, one of the things we left behind with almost every car manufacturer is what it's like to sit in a genuine leather seat and have a genuine leather interior.
Yeah.
Like, that is not that is not a thing that when you get into a lot of these vinyl faux leathers now, if you never experienced real leather, you go, well, what's the big deal? Well, when it's done right and it was Napa leather and seats were this way, it was a big difference.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's a real niche thing to talk about, but we just like, for a variety of reasons, obviously production cost and durability, but like get in some of those King ranches, with that aniline leather that was uncoated, you go, yeah, this is better. I mean, and that's what you would kind of say about Lexus. I mean, they had some of these Napa leather seats and you go, yeah, this is better.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't seen yet in our comment section after, 15, 20 million of views across all videos is the phrase, all right, Luddite. Considering some people might think that we don't like tech that much just because we talk about nostalgic kind of things a lot on this podcast, but it's not about that at all. It's just that there is, despite technology advancement, some things that were better for the driver, whether you're sitting in it, driving in it, racing it, or whatever. Some of the old stuff actually does live up to modern hype.
Yeah, and there's a lot of older cars that I'll be the first to admit were just junk.
Yeah.
Right? They were just junk. That's okay. Well. But then you have to say there's things being built now that are just junk too. You only have a certain level of how many special cars and trucks can be built at once. And so we tried, guys like us probably are going back to nostalgia, but I think the part of it is, like you said, if you really got to drive an LS400, it wasn't improved upon all that much. I mean,
it almost feels a little too refined for a teenager to be driving.
Oh, I should not have been driving it.
Yeah.
No. It shouldn't have happened. But
you should, like, that vehicle needed some flags on the front of the car and somebody in the backseat
like
being driven
to
around.
America when he was pulling out.
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what
dignitaries.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's cool to see they have LS400 because it does get. But I just saw a mint one. I just saw it this week, and I'll send you the picture to prove it. I'm like, oh my god, I wish I could have got a picture of this.
Okay, so if we're talking about this list and those 5, at the top was a Toyota pickup from the 80s or the LS400, and you had to pick one of those. Would you go with the LS400 or the pickup?
Yeah, no question.
Yeah,
no question. I would still love that pickup. I mean, I don't want people, but LS400, yeah. I mean, big sedan. By the way, you could probably carry just as much stuff in it.
That's true. Probably more. That trunk does a big ass trunk.
Because everybody that never saw that trunk, you get some stuff in that trunk.
You can get away with some stuff, is what Nick's trying to say. You can get away with some stuff, all right? All right, last story. We've already crossed the hour, and people love these slightly longer episodes. So Mercedes explains where the V12 survives and where it's dead.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so for Americans, luckily enough, we actually, I'll just break the ice here.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Mercedes sells this V12 to other companies.
Yes, and other markets, right? So the company's biggest engine is gone for Europe and other markets, but not in the U.S. So the Mercedes will continue to sell, or will stop selling the S-Class V12 engine in Europe and other regions, but it remains in the United States,
cool.
which that's great, right?
Yeah.
South Korea and the Middle East are still getting the V12 sedan.
Well, yeah, you can guarantee the Middle East is getting the V12.
I was just going to say,
you
I'm
didn't have
sure
to
you
even put that in the article. We know.
Yeah, that was a given, right? So just for the Mercedes fans, something interesting that might leave the door open to some cool things for these bigger body, big engine cars. Thought it was cool.
Yeah, this is only being kept alive because I think they sell it to multiple different companies. Mercedes is in an interesting place, probably like most Euro manufacturers, is they're having to navigate European regulation with what they're going to sell to the Middle East and what they're going to sell to Asia and what they're going to sell to the U.S. I love when you have these sort of heritage platforms that stay alive, but we're in the final days, whatever that means. If it's, a year or 5 years, nobody knows, but it's cool that it's staying around.
Yeah, I was actually just looking up. I personally hadn't seen a lot from our boy Benz and Bowties. I wonder how Mercedes sales are doing right now.
Well, I think dealers have come back to earth a lot, as you experienced with your buying recently of the Raptor. Mm-hmm. It's coming back to earth, guys. I don't want anybody to wait around on new cars thinking they're going to fall 50%. I think some of us do believe that, out there in the world. I don't believe that. That's not going to happen. But we're going to see, we're going to see a little bit more wheeling and dealing. I'm heavy in the automotive market, obviously, as my career. We're seeing things lighten up a little bit, and don't come at us with the special edition of this, and it's not going to come down. They know that there's a special edition. Like, you got to be realistic. But like on a normal F-150 or a Silverado, we're going to see some budge here.
Absolutely. So to land the plane, last shout out here from the Discord. Again, you can join at clutch.club. Odentex in the Discord says, after 30 years, I finally got a lift in my shop, which he showed. I think it was his Ridgeline on there. So good for you, man. Hopefully you get all the projects and tinkering finally done that you've dreamt about. When are you going to get a lift?
I got a lift.
In this? Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got a lift here. Yeah,
Oh,
I got a
badass.
scissor lift.
Oh, God.
I don't have
That's
a
right.
four-post lift.
Like
or
a two-post, four-post lift, yeah.
I have a, it's called Twin Bush. It's like a German company. It's great.
Nice. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Odentex found this off of Marketplace. Somebody got it, and he was trying to stack cars that it just wouldn't fit, and he ended up getting a really good deal on it. That's one of those things where, I mean, unless you're really looking for a lift, are you going to Marketplace to find your next lift?
I have an interesting relationship with Marketplace because I haven't been as deep into it as some people, and I'd say it's probably a weakness. I should be a little bit more.
Yeah, agreed, same.
Looking for tools, looking for toolboxes, lifts, probably a pretty good place. I've been looking for one of those Echo assault bikes, from Rogue. A lot of guys I went to college with are a part of Rogue because it's right near Ohio State's campus. They started from the ground up with that company. But yeah, I just saw a deal on it. It popped up on my Marketplace when I got on Facebook, and I'm like, huh.
Marketplace might be the one reason why Facebook survives. I'm just going to throw it out there.
I wonder how Facebook survives at all. And then you see their user count, and you're like, Jesus, a lot of people are using this platform. I don't know why it exists.
I know. It's older people. How do you say this without being super fucking mean? It's just a different group of people. But Marketplace is for everybody. So we'll just say it that way.
Yeah. So I think it's cool you got it off Marketplace. Like we took a lift out of a customer's house maybe 2-3 years ago, and they sold that thing in 2 seconds. Like,
real quick, totally off subject, but you brought up the Rogue Echo bike. I wanted one of those as well. I'll tell you what, this is for listeners as well, don't go shop from Assault. I know the Assault bikes and the Assault runners are what a lot of people know that, is the cream of the cream along with the Rogue stuff. I ordered one in November, never got it. I had to dispute it. I just like 2-3 weeks ago finally got the money back for it.
Well, you go to the website. Your boy's been waiting on his sauna.
Oh, that's right.
I'm like a couple weeks from it. Yeah, it's out, and by the way, it's out of Dripping Springs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool. Was it one of the ones we had talked about? Or did you go with another one?
No, it was one of the ones we talked about. Yeah, no. So I'm waiting on. Got the place all set up.
Exciting.
Getting itchy. I'm like, hey.
Dude, I love me a good sauna.
Yeah.
Sauna
One thing I'm not a believer in is cold plunge.
Really?
No, science doesn't. It's not real strong. It's kind of like a hardo move more than it is. What people think it is. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Well, what about contrast therapy then? Maybe trying it out. You think?
No, I've done the cold plunge thing. It's not because I can't do it or some people get real freaked out about cold. In all fairness, there's a lot of also negative effects of a cold plunge.
Yeah, especially if you're doing it right after a workout. It really blunts.
And so I think the science kind of, and I'm not a scientist, so if you do it like once or twice a month, I think there's some benefit, but you have people that are doing it every day, and I don't think there's no way that's what people. It's not on your side, bud. Like,
okay,
we got the sauna numbers, like we know, and I've been a sauna fan ever since I started working out. So for me, it just makes me feel better. And dude, I have all of this. What's it called? Like an HSA that you put.
Oh yeah.
I've had one for like 17, 18. I never spent $1. And so now you can buy a sauna through your HSA if you do all the doctor paperwork properly and all that kind of stuff. So that's
slept on tax benefits with an HSA, by the way.
Yeah, and
you guys,
here's what I got. Somebody said to me, or my accountant said to me. He's like, you're not supposed to spend that money. He's like, you're supposed to let it grow. I said, hey, bud, by the time I get to the place at 80 years old, I don't care how much money's in my HSA anymore. I'm trying to, and this year was the end of last year was the first time I ever spent a dime out of that account.
Wow, there's a lot of benefits to it. I mean, it grows. You can take the money out. I mean, it's like a triple tax benefit account for those of you that want to nerd out about it that maybe kind of overlooked it.
Yeah.
Really good account.
Yeah, so I like 15 years of putting money in it. So I finally said, let me get this
Badass.
two-person sauna.
Two-person. Dude, from the early days, like, as a teenager finding a Lifetime Fitness or 24 that had a sauna, sometimes you had to muscle through unfortunate neighbors in the sauna.
Building a massive Lifetime by my house right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. Building a massive Lifetime. We'll have, 3 or 4 of them in town once this one's done.
Damn.
Yeah,
here we thought when we were in the lockdown era, people were like, oh, commercial gyms are done forever kind of thing.
$500 a month, big dog.
Damn.
$500 a month.
What is this, Equinox? What's the other one? Is it Equinox?
The thing is, they all stole this idea of these types of health clubs from a place in Dallas called the Q Club. The Q Club had all of the 90s Dallas Cowboys, I don't know if necessarily they all invested, but the Q Club is where all the Dallas Cowboys of the 90s hung out back then. So the Q Club started this type of health club, and then Lifetime, this real estate development company, basically took it and ran with it.
Wow. Have you ever, since we're on the subject, I know we already landed the plane, but hey, we took off again. Have you ever used digital resistance?
What do you mean,
so there's Beyond Power makes this machine where it's like,
oh yeah, I've never actually used it yet, but it looks cool.
Looks super cool. And then there was the mirror looking one that was really popping for a while.
The one that LeBron was.
Yes.
What was that called? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, I've Tonal.
Tonal, yeah. I've heard a lot. I mean, Tonal was one thing, but like the Beyond Power company, those are some real interesting nerds that love science-based lifting that have the way that they put this thing together. It just looks like
I told you, dude. I'm off the weights. I'm off the weights.
You're completely?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Then you need a Beyond Power. It's called the Voltra by Beyond Power. Go look it up if you haven't. Thing's fucking
cool. Yeah, dude. I'm a few shoulder surgeries deep. I'm good. I'm
yeah,
good
that's true.
I'm good.
Well, going back to Kids Will Be Kids, Nick learned some tough lessons growing up.
I'm gonna just stay to the calisthenics. Maybe a kettlebell here and there.
Some P90X and some stuff.
Tony Horton. Yeah.
Our boy. This is a great long episode, everybody. All right, clutch.club, if you haven't joined, there's hundreds and thousands of you that have not joined the Discord. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is fun. It's taken off. We got people in there talking about all kinds of stuff. We've got new channels coming up as often as people suggest them if they make sense. We're trying to segment the different talks, so we have different topics going on. But yeah, great episode, and we'll see everybody next week.
See you guys.